Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wednesday. It's 8:30. It's the Man United agenda. Happy midweek, gentlemen. How we doing, Talk? How we doing, Pat?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah, man.
Gosh. Another hot day.
No complaints down here. No complaints at all.
Yeah, Pat's got the famous Dublin breeze that'll just
Oh,
blow
man.
up from the Liffey around the
Man.
buildings.
I'm driving home from work and kids are jumping off the bridge into the Liffey.
Yeah.
So that just says it all.
Do you know what? Pat,
Yeah,
yeah,
go.
that's. Do you know my dad used to tell me do you know what it's like? You know when your pops tells you stories about when he was a kid and all that. And he used to tell me that every single time when he got towards near the end and that he loved talking about it. And I always used to just think, you know what, I'll go along with it. But yeah, he used to do that all the time as a kid. He'd say he was just swimming in the Liffey.
Yeah. Just coming home. There's a bridge called the Samuel Beckett Bridge, and all the kids they're all tugged out properly for doing it. They have their half wetsuits on, shoes, jumping off into the sea, and I'm like, there you go. Here's summertime. I wish them days were back, but unfortunately I have to come home and jump into the sea locally to me, which is no complaints there. So long may the hot weather continue.
Yeah. How close to the sea do you live, Pat?
I could probably throw a stone from my doorstep into it.
Really?
Yeah, it's about 2-3 minute walk, not too far at all.
Wow.
And is it could you actually could you go fishing there if you want and catch some flatties?
Yeah, you could. Like there's trawlers out on the bay for the last 8 weeks, catching the likes of plaice and mackerel and haddock and whatever could be obtained from the sea, you know.
Do you know what? For me, I don't know if you agree, or Mr. B, mackerel is the king of the sea, man. Mackerel is the best fish. I don't
eat fish, bro.
Oh, Mr. B, disappoint me, bro.
It's all right. I don't eat veg either, so don't worry about it.
He lives out the strict diet of Doritos and Mars bars.
Yeah, I'll take that. As long as there's milk beside it, mate, I'm all good, man. I'm all good. Right, gentlemen.
Yes.
We might have a saviour, or so he thinks. Micheal Knighton. What do we know about him? What do we remember about him if we're of a certain age? I remember him doing kick-ups in the middle of the pitch. I do, honestly. I remember him doing kick-ups. I know he had us place on the board, but now we're hearing that he wants to buy the club. I've got a couple of things to say on it. I know we've got a little bit of audio to play as well. Talk, could you play the audio first at all?
Yeah, we can jump straight into that. So here we go, folks. This is from the brief interview that he did. So listen carefully.
So the final message from you then, I guess, for the fans who are looking forward to the Manchester United versus Liverpool game, our next home match, you expect them to be back protesting?
Of course, they will protest, and quite rightly. It's the only way they can vent their frustration and disappointment and hope that the current ownership sit up and finally listen and ultimately decide to sell their shareholding. My consortium is ready and waiting. The funds are pledged. The offer document is being drawn up and it will be presented, John. We're still waiting for the great Sir Jim Ratcliffe to come forward because he solves all our problems, makes my job redundant. But until Jim comes, my consortium will be placing their bid very shortly. That I guarantee.
There you go.
Right.
And there is the statement that Gary Neville made, which I thought was quite. What I didn't like about it, Mr. B, is before we get into what he's just said, when Gary Neville even made this statement, did you notice how the Sky geezer quickly
Cut him off? Yeah.
And I was angry. I was watching it and I was going, "You bleep, 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 bleep. How dare you just cut him off like that and just poo-poo it as if it's, it doesn't really matter." And exactly what Gary Neville said and the way he said it, you could see the emotion on his face and what in his eyes. It's, It is. It's time. That's it. It's enough. Enough is enough. We've got to get these people out of this club.
You can only imagine the passion that comes from Gary Neville, from a lad who grew up at a club, to see the demise since he's left, and it hasn't been the same since. And it's just getting worse and worse. So you can imagine the passion that's building up in him at the moment. And there is only a certain amount he can say. So he could have overstepped his mark that time when he was doing the interview. Not in our eyes, but for whatever he's contracted to. That's why he was cut off.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that 100%. And Sky, they don't want to get involved and give airtime to something that they, may get liable for or whatever. I don't know how it works, all that kind of malarkey, But it did just make, and I think the anger was coming from obviously, the right place. It's not just being angry for the sake of being angry. It's being angry because, as everybody else as a fan knows, at Manchester United, we are slowly sinking. We're straddled with this huge debt and everything else. And this, getting into what he's just said there about the consortium and everything else, we'll just quickly have a look at what this consortium is, which is the Red Knights. That's what they're called. He tried this quite a few years ago with the Red Knights, and obviously they just sort of batted it away as if like, no, we're not interested. But this is what this reads. So it says 2 members of the Red Knights consortium, and this is in 2021. 2 members of the Red Knights consortium who tried to buy Manchester United a decade ago have written to the Glazers to demand reforms at the club, including greater support input on the board. In the wake of the doomed European Super League, the spotlight has been back on the Glazer family this week after they were forced into an embarrassing climb down on their plans to join the ESL, withdrawing from the league less than 48 hours after it was announced, after a furious backlash from the fans, and we all remember that. Players, pundits, governing bodies and government. That has led to calls for the controversial owners of 16 years to sell up, and a group of supporters breached security at United's Carrington training ground on a Thursday morning to voice their anger at the ownership of the Glazer family. The last significant dissent against the Glazers came in 2010 with the Green and Gold campaign, as it was at the time. That the Red Knights, a group of city financiers and lawyers, as well as United fans, tried to prise control away from the Glazers. That takeover attempt was ultimately unsuccessful, and the Glazers have continued to own the club. They saddled with debt during their takeover in 2005, and we all know how the takeover was, how it happened, levying the club against the loan, etc. And it's just been an absolute, doo-doo show on it, to be fair.
All right, well, look, before we go any further, we don't want ours to be a doo-doo show talk. We've got a whole load of guys in the comments. We skipped him. We didn't even have any manners. We didn't even say hello. Could you just go for a couple of hellos for me, please?
We will certainly do so. We got Brush in the building, big up as usual with his big box of popcorn. I hope it's toffee flavoured, Brush, because I can't be doing with the salted version, bro. We've got Colm in the building as well. He's saying, don't mind me just speaking Glazer language. Money. We've got Olakunle in the building as well. Big up. Olakunle says, I can't believe my previous message has gone. Foles should take Mr. Knighton as a fraud. Jim Radcliffe will not be joining this consortium. Fact. All right. Okay. You can let us know your source, bro. We very much appreciate it. Gavin Wallace says, evening, fellas. MUFC old school in the building. You all do know the history regarding Knighton and Manchester United. It's like, yeah, we do. We're fully aware of that. MUFC old school. Coleman again. Yes, I'm aware of it. Robbie Norman, Knighton will be take nothing over. We'll get to that in a moment. But Robbie Norman, waste of story. He's a laughing stock. FTB.com, from what I know, he isn't taking the club over. It's just a spokesman for the consortium that are planning the takeover. We've also got Andy Long, who will come back to the comments shortly. We've got Andy Long in the building, Gavin Ward, Bath Time, Rebel, Bill Baggio, Vincent Bullock. Who else? We've got Avi as well. We've got A-Bub. We got Box. Who else? Anybody else I've missed? Let me just have a look. Looks like that's about it. So we see you all there in the chat, folks. We will get to your comments a little bit further on, but back to you, Mr. B.
All right. So, Pat, I've heard the video. I've seen the video. My short opinion, for what it's worth, is I actually think what he said is a load of crap. He's got a consortium. He had that whole big speech, and then he said, Jim Ratcliffe can come in and make my job redundant. Jim Ratcliffe is the savior. Now, I don't understand why, if they want Jim Ratcliffe in, this hasn't been done already, him already being on board, and then they move forward. Thoughts, big man?
So what I can gather is that Michael Knighton's pulling together a lot, like a committee of wealthy people. Wealthy people is probably the best way to put it, and they're trying to buy back the club. They're not trying to buy the whole club. They're trying to buy a certain percentage of shares to where they can take control of the club again. Look, this fella tried to do this back in, I believe it was 92, and he made a dog's dinner of it, and he ended up losing his job over it, and he ended up in Carlisle. So he's exactly what you just said there. He's saying that he's the man to do it, but if Jim Ratcliffe comes in and getting brushed aside straight away, why would he want that? Why would he put in all this hard work just to step aside? Don't get me wrong. I want this to happen. We all want this to happen. My only hope I have for this at the moment is that the difference back in 2010 was our club was a finance machine that was just turning over money. And I believe we probably still are, but I don't think we're the same. We don't have the same financial backing that we once had. And it's become the cow that's being well milked, and there's not much left of it anymore now. The old tit is running dry. The signs are starting to show in the transfer window this year.
Yes, I agree 100%. However, what I want to say is that Michael Knighton and the Red Knights, it is an actual entity. They are a group of very, very wealthy people who have got a serious interest in taking over Manchester United. And I think what we're seeing here is, I don't believe for 1 second he would do this if he did not have the backing of some seriously wealthy people in order to make this happen. But I also think at the same time, I want to draw your mind back to the Chelsea debacle, right? Because what happened there was, where was Jim Ratcliffe? I'll ask you this question. Where was Jim Ratcliffe when that all first came out? He was nowhere to be seen, okay? It then took Ted Burley and some others to go in and actually start putting money on the table. Now, obviously, Jim Ratcliffe had ample time to go in and at the same time as they did theirs, to get on at the same time as them, but he didn't. He left it really late, went in with a bid really late, and in my opinion, I believe that he was actually fully aware that his bid was not going to be accepted because it was far too late. The bid more or less was already accepted from Burley, etc. But I think what he was doing there was making his intentions clear to the Glazers that actually I am in a position to buy a club. There is the evidence that I'm in a position to buy the club because I have now publicly made a bid of, whatever it was, 4 billion to buy Chelsea Football Club. Now, with what Michael Knighton is doing here with this consortium, what we've got to look at in this now is, if firstly they're going to put that bid forward, the Glazers lawyers are going to go, right, okay, let's look at this then. They're going to look at it and verify that it's right and it's real money and that it's accountable. This is real money they're going to try and buy this club with. Now, as soon as they give any kind of reaction to that offer, if they come straight off and just say, look, we are not going to sell the club, don't matter who you are or how much money you offer, we're not selling, that's it, it's nipped in the bud and gone. However, if they come out and say, right, look, we've received the bid and we're considering it, or something along those lines, that for me is the cue for Sir Jim Ratcliffe to go, right, I know they're going to sell. That they give the nod that they're going to sell because they're considering the bid. That will be the moment, I believe, that Sir Jim Ratcliffe will then make his intentions known, and then he will then step up. Whether he'll be part of this consortium or not, I'm not too sure. Maybe he'll just do this as a standalone and go, you know what, guys, great effort, but I don't need you on what I want to do. I can do this on my own with my team, and I believe that's what's going to happen because he is a Man United fan after all. He's from the Greater Manchester area. You know what I mean? So it all adds up to me. For me, sorry.
Well, look, we know that your brain is a bit fried, especially midweek with all the hard work and heat. So it adds up for you, but maybe it doesn't add up for other people. Guys in the comments, guys in the chat, do you think this guy's just a blagger? Do you agree with talk? I don't want to hear no yeses or no nos, or no ones or twos. Just do you think it's all bullshit, really? As I personally do. I know talk is hoping. Are you speaking more out of hope or expectation, talk?
No, I'm speaking out of the facts, Mr. B. The facts are Jim Ratcliffe, like I've just said. Are you telling me that an exceptionally clever and successful businessman, right, who was attempting to buy a football club, tries to do it in that fashion when he knew the rules of what was going on at Chelsea for a long time, but then he strolls up late with a bid which is not even as much as what Burley was offering? Bro, you don't do that if you've got serious intentions of buying that club. He would have been there right at the start. As soon as it came out that Abramovich was going to be leaving, he's got to sell it, and he wanted to buy it, he would have been there in the same time, good time, with Ted Burley and everyone else and said, no, I want this club. And he would have bought it. So for me, there is a bigger picture to be looked at here. And I believe there is something to bite onto here with this lot. I really do. I don't think it's just total. You can't say that because of the people that are involved, Mr. B. You're talking about exceptionally wealthy people here with the Red Knights.
No, my issue. Sorry, I'm gonna forget. My issue, obviously, with a hostile takeover.
Yeah.
You know, they tend to target the shareholders. Am I correct in that? I might be wrong. Somebody in the chat's probably going to tell me that I'm wrong. Aren't the shareholders the Glazers?
Yeah.
So if they don't want to sell, you know, like some companies have different shareholders that they can target. The fact that the Glazers own the majority of the shares, this is the part that I can't understand how that would work. If the Glazers own the shares, they don't want to sell. I know, obviously, when hostile takeovers come in, the share price increases as well. So could that be something that they're looking at as well? Maybe, Pat.
All I can say is, quoted upon my mother, God loves a trier. So at least he's trying and he's giving us all hope. That's all I can say, lads, because it's not getting any better the way it is. It's a fair play to him. He's trying. He might be, another saying, he might be pissing into the wind. He might be getting nowhere, but I hope he gets somewhere. And I hope it works out for him. The good thing that I like about it at the moment is it's becoming common news. It's on the news. It's on the social media. It's not just fans talking about it. YouTube channels talking about it. I'm seeing it on Sky News. Sky News are highlighting it. It's becoming like a propaganda now. People want to talk about it, and what I'm hoping is that the likes of your Sky Sports, the like of your BT Sports, they pick up on it and they're going to stay on it. Because you know what they're like when they have nothing to talk about. They will milk that bad boy until we're sick of it. And I'm hoping they have nothing to talk about for the next 4 weeks. And they hammer it home, and it just becomes worse and worse until something actually might happen. But fair play to Michael Knighton. He's trying. That's all I can say. Will he do it? I don't know. Because people like Jim Ratcliffe are very intelligent people, but they're also very wealthy people. And when you're a very wealthy person, you're in the know. So before you even bother your backside to get up and try and buy a club like Manchester United, you'll know whether it's for sale or not. You'll know whether you're hedging your bets, you'll chance your arm, whether you're paying over the odds. These people will know before anybody even contemplates on it. So all I can say is good luck to Michael. I hope it works out. We all hope it works out, because it's not getting any better the way it's gone.
That's what you said there, because let's look at this now as well, Mr. B, from two different angles. The first angle is the Chelsea angle, which was not a hostile takeover. That was an open sale. However, this is what I'm saying. So Jim Ratcliffe is not, surely, because he's such a clever, intelligent man, he's not going to embarrass himself and get into some kind of like public tussle with the Glazers to try and buy the club. Everybody knows how rich he is, right? Everybody knows how rich Sir Jim Ratcliffe is. So what I'm thinking is, and Bill Baggio said just in his earliest comment that even if it's BS, he's putting pressure on the Glazers, and this is exactly the point of it. It's making the Glazers aware that there's, serious people here that are very concerned about the club. the Glazers themselves surely are concerned about the company, because it is a company that they own, the way it's performing, the way the levels of the monies and everything else. They cannot continue with what they're doing in the way they're doing it. They just can't. It's unfeasible, because the price of success in the Premier League, we're not talking about Champions League here. We're talking about the Premier League, because good form in the Premier League, take that into the Champions League, you've got a really good chance, and you get a bit of luck, happy days, right? So it's about the Premier League. They cannot afford, as we're clearly seeing now with this transfer window, and I said it the other day, does this transfer window match the ambition of our club? Does it? No, not in a million years.
No, it's been absolute pants since the season started.
Yeah.
We had high hopes. Now, I'm not getting into Ralph Ragnick and how he finished that season, but we had him in there as an advisory role. We had the likes of Paul Micheal coming in, a possible technical director, sporting director, whatever his role may have been, and it was all starting to look rosy. We were going down the right path, and all of a sudden, oh no, Ralph's going off to the Austrian job. And here we are sitting a couple of months later, and we're still talking about Frankie de Jong, and we're signing some curly-haired French fella that hasn't got his game for Juventus, and his ma is his agent, and he wants 5 times his wages this week. Now, I'm not doubting this young lad's capabilities. I hope he comes to Manchester United and he's a smasher, but it's not filling me full of hope. I don't know about you guys or the guys in the comments.
That was a cracking line. I'm having that one.
I'm sorry, but I'm getting a little bit of Gary Neville frustration.
Hold on. Same page, mate, honestly. But no, I agree with you. And you know what, Rabiot, listen, in my opinion, yeah, it's looking like there's a problem being caused, which we might get to a bit later. But I do believe that he is an upgrade. And it may well be worth the hassle that comes with him for him to just sort of be in that team to get us going.
If Mr. B grabbed his boots, he'd be an upgrade on that team. Come on.
I'll tell you, you didn't see
around the pitch with a beaker full of milk.
And no veg before the game, no veg after the game.
Kicking a little bit of broccoli into the stands.
And that's how we get Mr. B to run faster down the wing, chasing with a stem of broccoli. And he's like, I'm out of here. Whoa, see ya.
Oh, God, you two are absolute. I can't even say it. Yeah, you are. I put it in. I'll put it in a private chat in a minute. Where were we?
I don't know. We've gone so far off.
You answered my last question. We were talking about Rabiot just now. We've also been linked to Gain with Cody Gakpo. We've done shows on him. We don't have to go into all of the details, all of the ins and outs, but obviously the Anthony deal is dead in the water now. There's nothing on that, and he still needs a forward. Gakpo voted National Dutch Player of the Season last year by a bunch of Dutch international strikers, apparently. 12 goals and 13 assists in 27 games for PSV this season. Guys, is he the answer to the problem? 35 million is the asking price. Talk to me. What have we got? Guys in the chat, talk to me. What are we saying?
So, I mean, from my point of view, are we buying him for the attacking midfield, centre midfield, or are we buying him for the left?
Well, he predominantly plays in the left tuck, but he plays up forward and he plays out on the right. Now, centre forward, does that mean he's a false 9? I don't know. He's not claiming himself as a number 9. Look, just like the young lad Rabiot at the moment, I would take anybody just to get numbers in.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like you say, Pat, for me, yeah, the numbers themselves, his stats and everything else, it's looking okay in it. But again, this is not the answer for the club, in my opinion. But again, I won't say no to it because it's that bad at the moment. We're literally saying, we'll take anyone. Yeah, just bring us some new faces, will you, to get this team broken down, and try and reshape it into something that can actually go out there and put into effect what Ten Hag wants them to do.
Bill Baggio's made a fair point there, saying that Gakpo is a Dutch Rashford in form at the moment.
Yo, big up Bill, Baggio in the building, and Andrew Williams. Big up Andrew. See you, and Edgar J. We see you, man.
So
well,
am I taking then that Bill, you're not agreeing with the Dutch Rashford purchase, or do you think it's still something that we need? Sorry, Talk, I cut you off. I'll let you finish now.
No, that's cool. No. I mean, look, I was just going to ask you what's your opinion on him. Do you think he is?
I'm a Rashford fan, so if he's a Dutch Rashford, I'm going to say yes. But my problem, actually, no, it's not even a problem. I like things done quickly, and we just seem to be linked with this person, that person, that person. We spoke about Gakpo 2 months ago, maybe. So if we were talking about him 2 months ago, why is it now taken for PSV to be on the verge of qualifying for the Champions League? I mean, what are they? 1 game away. What we doing? Hoping that Rangers knock them out like they did with Monaco. That was our green light to go and get Rabiot, because if Monaco had qualified for the Champions League, maybe Rabiot was on there. There's a rumor that Rabiot was on their radar. So are we hoping that Gakpo gets knocked out by Rangers?
Well, Anthony Herbert made a good point there. He's saying that Gakpo is a good player, 13 goals in 27 games, 1 goal every 2 games. Not bad stats there. If he comes, he will improve. And then we have Bill Baggio. He is boys. He ain't bad, but he ain't better than Rashi.
Edgar J. I did see this earlier on, and we're United fans. We remember how dead-eye Rude was in front of goal. All right, he didn't pass much, and he didn't have much assist, but in front of goal, he was deadly. So I mean, the fact that he's been coaching him, look, he's his full coach now, and he did coach him. He was his what do they call him, striking coach, in the youth team before that, so he knows him. You know, I mean, 35 million. I'm not going to say that that's cheap, because no doubt as soon as we do show our interest in him, the price is going to go up by another 15 or 20 mil. So you think it's something that can be done, guys? Look, we know we're not optimistic. We had all of these hopes, but United are United, and a leopard doesn't change his spots. So do you think this is a deal that can be done, or is it just a whole load of bluster again?
Feels like it's just somebody new for us to be linked to, and it's going to drag on for another week, and then it could be somebody else we're linked to, and then we might just see a panic buy, and then that'll be it. The window's going to close. If we are going to get somebody like Frankie de Jong, it'll be next season, next summer, because January is not a great time to get players.
No, not just after the World Cup as well.
We were only lucky once. We were only lucky once with the likes of Everett and Vidic.
There's another way of looking at this now. This is either like we see. Remember the Richard Arnold interview at the pub, right? Everything that was being said there. In a roundabout way, he's saying, "Oh yeah, we're learning from our mistakes. We're new. Give us time. We'll get it right." Bam, bam. So this is either them making double sure, and then making triple sure that these signings are the signings and the targets that they want to be looking at and going for, and it's just the cautious approach, or it's a total breakdown of communication between Ten Hag, the board, and the scouting system, where no one has a clue who they're supposed to be looking at. Names are just getting thrown all over the place. And out of those two, which would I prefer? Obviously, the first one would be for that. It's them just taking their time and going, right, listen, let's not get our fingers burnt here. Let's try and, you know what? And look, again, I'm very hungry for success at Man United. However, what I'm not hungry for is for us to be just throwing money away, hand over fist, time and time again, with dreadful contracts on dreadful players. So maybe, just maybe, we have to give this first season of these people in charge. It might be a painful season, it might not. But either way, we have to just, as it stands, go with it. And whoever they bring in, I'm going to get behind them, apart from Arnautovic. That's the end of that.
Devils United on here. He sounds very positive.
Devils Rising.
Yeah, sorry. Oh God, Devils Rising. You know my eyes are so shit. Jesus Christ.
Mr. B, you know that £5 I give you earlier on? It was 20 quid, bro.
Oh my God. Look, I just want deals done. I'm sick and tired of it. I'll be honest. I've seen the first game of the season. I know Ten Hag is got his list of players, but it's going to be the same old, same old. We're going to be on here doing our watch along or our marathon along or whatever we're going to be doing on transfer deadline day, and we're going to sign somebody in the last window. I'm telling you now, we're going to sign somebody that last day of the window. That's what they do.
As bad as it may seem at the moment, because Eric Ten Hag's not getting the support he deserves, we hope he just gets a bit of strength in the squad and gives them a fighting chance at least, and then he can work with the players he has, because he's not going to work miracles with what he has, but he has got some good players at his disposal, and I think he can do a good job. It's going to take time, so let's see how it goes, and hopefully he just gets a bit more strength and depth. That's all the man needs.
I mean, I think. Oh, so go on, Mr. B.
No, go.
No, I was just going to say, I think, you know what, we can't, as you know, long-standing Man United fans and passionate Man United fans, I don't think it's, you know, too bad that we react in a way that we react against that first game, only because it's dragged back last season. It's dragged back the end of last season with it into the start of this new season. And that is the reason why I was so angry, is because last season was out of my mind during pre-season. So I was like, I remember Mr. B, me and you watch alongs, and then afterwards talk like, yeah, man, we're going to do the treble. Mr. B was all, we're going to do the treble, right? But, so you know what, look, it is a hangover from last season, obviously, that's now being brought back. And but now, you know what, you have time to reflect, you calm down, you look at the facts, you look at everything else that's going on. And yes, of course, we always said it's going to take time. It is going to take time. However, in the same breath, I just believe Ten Hag has got some players there that they will not be able to do what he wants them to do. They are not physically capable of doing it. So that is half one of the problems. I'm not going to name names, but I think we all know who we're talking about. So, you know, it's an uphill battle for him. So let's just hope that, yes, we do get 1 or 2 in before the window shuts, and it's enough to give us a kickstart into. All I want to see is good performances consistently, right? That same energy, that same passion, that same desire, game after game after game, going out and giving it 110%, sticking to the plan, trusting the plan, and, you know, giving it their all. That's what we want to see before we get any success. That has to be there, doesn't it, surely?
That's it.
Yep. I've totally thrown myself off again. I don't know what's going on today. I think I've got bloody heat stroke. I had a whole load of questions written down. I can't even see them properly. Yeah, you know what? If I faint on here, guys, or it cuts out, I beg, just call the missus for me quick, yeah?
Mark will sing you a song.
Yeah.
Listen, as long as it's not glory, Man United, I'm all good at the moment, man. I'm all good at the moment, man. So, I heard Pat.
Big sigh.
I've no problem with Sarr. I think Sarr is a good lad. He's not a bad footballer, right? But like we were long, it's the same crap all over again. We were linked to Sarr 2 years ago. Before he went down with Watford, I came back up with Watford. 2 years we were linked with 3 years ago we were linked with Rabia. It's like there's nothing new coming in. There's no new players being linked to the club. It's like Matt Judge or something. He has about 2 months left in his tenure there left before his contract runs out, and he's gonna just try and sign anybody he can go. Who did I try and sign before? Oh, that's Sarr, lad. Sure, let's go for him again.
Yeah. That's it, innit? Yeah, what was that one we were looking at? Right, get the book out. Somebody said it. I can't remember who said it. And it was like, yeah, there's like an old, like, you know, old documents of old transfers that they were thinking about that they've dug out somewhere, and like, oh yeah, let's have a look what we can find in them old pads where we was looking at such and such. But I mean, look, listen, he's not a bad player in the Championship. 2 appearances, 171 minutes played, 1 goal, 1 assist. So, you know what?
Did you see it? I tell you what, though, it was a heck of a goal, though.
Yeah. But, Mr. B, he's very weak on the offsides and the crossing and his defensive contribution. Forget about it.
So you think this is a club link and not a lazy journalism, a club link and not a Ten Hag link, right?
Yeah.
Possibly,
There's no way Eric Ten Hag is coming in there and going, "He's onto something. I think that Sarr lad's a good signing." No, it's not. It's just old news brought back up.
Lazy journalism again.
Yes.
Ish. Talk. Can we go through some of these messages, please, boss? Big boss, we see you in the chat. Yeah, we know we're gonna wrap up soon, guys. If you are still here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yeah, can we just go through some of these messages? I know we've waffled on a couple of subjects, so it might be a mix-up, but let's get them answered if we can.
Bath Time Yvonne says he doesn't have 5 billion quid though, so he has to take loans out against his stocks, etc., as collateral. It's incredibly complicated and takes a long time. Yeah, but that's it. You know, the thing is, I mean, that's just him. Michael Knighton himself. Actually, whilst we're talking about it, I wasn't going to show it, but I will now. Whilst Bath Time made that point, is this. So we've got this. So we are working on the offer document. Remember, it's a hostile bid. That simply means that the club isn't officially for sale, but my intention is to present these owners with a legitimate, potent and commercial offer to say, you've run out of road, it's time to go because your time is up. Knighton, who is said to have a net worth of around 5.8 million, compared to 3.9 billion of the Glazer family, right? That's what they're worth, by the way, folks. Added, we need to rid our football club of these owners as they have had their day. The time was run out. 17 years of disappointment. It's really time for them to go. So, yeah, look, this guy's not got an awful lot of money in the big scheme of billionaires. However, it's the people, the other people around him who are kind of anonymous at the moment. They're the real money people, not him. He's just the one who's got the wedged into the door to people to take notice of him because they know who he is.
He's the face.
Yeah, exactly. Box saying Knighton should stage a sitting protest in the centre of the circle ahead of the Man United Liverpool game. And
once he doesn't come out with a kit on and start doing heads and volleys, he'd be all right.
Yeah. Oh my God, can you imagine that? Andrew Williams says, yeah, and do some keepy uppies. Yeah. Batan says, is it just me or does anyone else think Ronaldo might be driving the Rabiot deal? It makes little sense to me beyond that. Interesting point. I'm not so sure about that, but
I mean, look. I mean, the thing is, Ten Hag's actually reports are suggesting that Ten Hag's actually spoken to Rabiot. They've had, and that was what's obviously made Rabiot think, okay, manager's calling him. It's not just his mum telling him that the deal wants to be done. I know they're saying that his mum wants to talk to Murta or the other guy who's supposed to be doing the deals at the club. I mean, look, if this is the case, if he wants to come, he's obviously told his agent that he wants to come. 15 million, no problem. Just get the deal done. Get him in, get him training with the squad. The fact that Ten Hag has physically spoken to him, I wasn't there, but that is what's being said. Get the deal done, man. Get things speeded up a bit. Sorry, Talk, I cut you off. Keep going with the comments.
No, MEFC is saying fans need to boycott the Liverpool game. Yes, exactly. Now, I'll tell you, the empty Old Trafford hashtag on Twitter, and if that reaches enough people and enough people take notice, alongside right now is the time for this to happen. All right, it might be wishful thinking and all the rest of it, but in an ideal world, with what Michael Knighton is doing and what's being touted, the name of Sir Jim Ratcliffe being bandied about without him coming out. And let's remember this, folks, until Sir Jim Ratcliffe puts out a statement saying, listen, folks, I appreciate the links and everything else, but I am not interested in buying Manchester United Football Club. But he hasn't done that, has he? So until that happens, I'm gonna presume that he is interested in buying United. Simple as that. So yeah, let's hope that this does work. But again, some fans just won't do it. They're there with the kids, the family, and all the day out and all the na. But anyway, long one. But anyway, let's keep going. Bill Baggio says we are different to their NFL team. Their NFL team cannot be relegated. Yes, that's it. Yes, a franchise. We dropped right off the football pyramid in reality. Bill, yeah, you're telling me, bro, big time. Ola Cunliffe says, no Glazers aren't concerned. Talk. United is a money-making machine. All the Glazers require is for United to make top 4 via the league once every 4 years. But bro, there's a lifespan to that. It's not. You have to look at how a football is evolving in terms of the finances. Each year, each season, it's getting more and more expensive for players, wages, image rights, all kinds of nonsense. And at some point, it's going to get stretched too thin for the Glazers to be able to keep up. And that's my whole argument all along. It is drifting away from them slowly, but they can claw and hang on as much as they want. But at some point, something's going to break big time. And, we don't know where that could lead. But anyway, Boxer says, at Vaughan, what's the link with Rabiot? Can you make top 4 via the league? I think he's talking about Europa League. Edgar J says, this man should do some funny jokes. His accent alone makes it even more funny. Who are you talking about, bro? You're talking about the guy in the video?
Or you talking about talk?
Which one is he talking about?
I don't know. I'm from Manchester, bro, so you don't understand what I'm saying, man. I can't help you. Bastian says, he's even. Juve player in it box. Played with Ronaldo, yeah, blah, blah. Andrew Williams. Quiz question of the night to the panel. Oh, yeah, there we go. How many assists does Frankie de Jong have in his 6 seasons Champions League career?
I know he didn't really expect us to answer that.
I'm going to answer.
Stall on Mr. B while I Google it.
Yeah, no Googling, but...
just 1 second there. Yeah, I'll have it.
Is it something like... I'm going to go for like 24. Andrew, I'm going to say 24. We got Football United TV in the chat also. Yes, big up Matt from Football United TV. Just done a great stream, by the way, actually, folks. Go and check it out with Charlotte from the Dale Way, and she's also involved with Her Game 2, which is the hashtag Her Game 2 for the ladies' game and everything else. Really great stream. Go and check that out on Football United TV. Give him some love and support and a sub. Great guy, great channel. Bath Time says, is it one on? All right, okay. There's little. I need to just sort of do. I'm not as good as OMONDI at the comments, Mr. B. You can tell, can't you? OMONDI, he's got it nailed. He's got everything right.
He's a professional. Sorry, yeah. I'm really confused here. I'm seeing some numbers. What the hell is going on?
That's for the amount of assists. So 3, 1. You're waiting for so long. 3 for a yes, 2 for a no.
I'm seeing people come up with these numbers, and I'm wondering what the hell is going on. It's been too hot. My brain's on slow down. Sorry.
You're gonna have to get yourself one of them bath time ice creams and relax. Big
up to Ant Project as well. Big up to nice to see you in the chat again, bro. Not seen you for a little while, but welcome back, Michael Knighton. What a load of rubbish. Well, we'll wait. We'll find out. It'll all come out in a wash, bro. Yes, lol, eye popping. Box says, Avon, I thought you meant he was gonna. These are little conversations. Sorry, folks, but anyway, yeah. Little conversations going on.
Andrew Williams just came in and said the answer is 1.
Yeah, but we're not buying. We're buying him to be the sister. That's what. Yeah,
sister. That sounds like a girl group.
That's what we're buying him for. I don't know. Look, 75 million for somebody who doesn't assist. Maybe Andrew Williams is banging that nail right on the head. Look, we're on our show time. We're on our cut-off time. Guys in the chat, thank you for watching. We will be here again, 8:30 again tomorrow. Jay Motti's on tomorrow. Should be, but don't hold me to that. Friday, obviously, we've got the 8:30 show. Probably be the Brentford preview. We've got the takeaway, 10 o'clock. And we've got the watch-along on Saturday. I have no idea what time the reaction time will be. The reaction show will be, but we will definitely have a reaction show to
actually, that. Mr. B, whilst you're talking about that, we will find out, and we'll hopefully this time get it nailed before the actual watch-along's finished, like you're fully aware. But also, I just want to say hello to FC United Forever. Big up to you. Welcome again back to the stream. Nice to see you in the chat. She says, before we go, United is flat broke, consistently borrowing basically every 2 years from Bank of America. I have been since 2015. It's all in black and white on United's financial reports. They can and don't hide it. So thank you for that. Matthew Bassett as well as in the chat. Yo, big up Matthew Bassett. See you, bro. Andy Long as well saying cheers, guys. No problem, bro. No problem. Vincent Bullock as well. We see you. That's just right, Vincent. Last one, Mr. B. I remember Miss Debbie said you can't have salad on your burger, but I'll let you have the tomato as it is a fruit. Thank you very much.
That's sad. If that's the case, then there's a lot of fruits that I don't eat as well, mate. I'm sorry. But with that, look, it's the agenda. You know what we're like. Guys in the comments, thank you for taking the time out. We do appreciate it. Again, if you are here and you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're not, you know what to do. Hit that like button. I'm not going to say what I was going to say the last time I got in trouble. So hit the button, not flick the button. Guys, take it easy. Enjoy.
Ciao.